And I'm back. So the last time I uploaded a video was freshman year. Now it's spring of my senior year, and I've been getting requests for the last 4 years to keep uploading, which I always vehemently denied because the videos are embarrassing and terrible, and they're supposed to stay in the past. But I decided it might be sort of fun to bring it back full circle or something by talking about colleges. I'm also talking really quietly, and I've been recording this on my phone, and the lighting keeps changing, so the production quality is not going to be top tier, but it's okay, we're just going to go with it. Those of you who know me probably are unsurprised to hear that I applied to 18 colleges. I want to give myself lots of options. I visited, I want to say, like 25 colleges, so I had to pick from those. It was a very stressful fall semester for me. I got started on my applications very early in the game. The summer after your junior year, you got a lot of emails saying, this 10-minute long free application, just fill it out and we'll give you a decision within 2 weeks because your ACT score was high enough or whatever. And so for the most part, I ignored these, and then I was like, well, why not? If it's free and it takes 10 minutes, might as well say I got accepted to a college. That'd be pretty fun. So I did that for Carthage College. They sent me free socks. So if you apply to Carthage and get accepted, they will send you Carthage socks. I was accepted to College, which is another local college, Wartburg College. They give you a nice little certificate, and Iowa State University as a pretty basic safety. I was accepted to all 4 of those schools over the summer, which is a pretty cool feeling, you know, being 16 years old and accepted to 4 colleges, can't complain about that. After I'd been accepted to more selective schools that I was more interested in, I withdrew my applications from those initial schools since I didn't want to be taking somebody else's spot. And then I started submitting my applications via Common App for schools I was more serious about. I applied restrictive early action to Stanford. It was really hard for me to decide between Stanford and Williams, but Williams, if I applied early, was binding. I would have to go there if I got in, and Stanford was non-binding. I would still have options open. So I worked crazy hard to have my application ready to submit by October 15th. And I found out one day in December, just could not get it off my mind. And I knew it was going to be another week until I heard back, most likely. And I was like, the next week is going to be agony waiting to hear back from Stanford. And I got home and my friend had texted me and she said, did you hear back from Stanford? And it turns out they were actually released that day. So I checked it and I was rejected. The thing about Stanford is that they defer a lot fewer students than other top tier schools, whereas a lot of other like Ivy League schools will defer the majority of their early applicants, but Stanford does not defer very many students, so basically means I wasn't in the top 10 to 20% of their applicant pool, which you can't be mad about. It's Stanford, and it was a long shot, and I think a smaller atmosphere is probably going to be better for me anyway. So, you know, that sucked, but gotta move on. Early action and early decision applications get a response by December 15th, and then regular decision, the rest of your applications generally get a response by April 1st. I guess I turned in my application early enough because the deadline for EA is earlier, obviously, so I turned in those applications before the EA deadline, and there's some less selective schools that maybe were more interested in me. They wanted to get an admissions decision back to me sooner. So I was accepted, I think the first school of those I was accepted to is Knox College, which is a small liberal arts school in Illinois. I had kind of 2 interviews with an admissions counselor there that were really, really nice. I really liked her. I think I'm not super likely to go there, but it's a really nice option to have on the table. I'm really grateful for that. And I think the next school I was accepted to was Lawrence University, which is in Wisconsin. The cool thing about Lawrence is that they have a conservatory, so I could be really involved with tuba there, which would be awesome. It seems like some really awesome people at Lawrence. I really, really like that school. And then probably the most exciting one so far for me was being accepted to the College of Wooster, which is one of my favorite colleges that I visited. I was so excited to hear back from them and get accepted. It's one of the less selective schools I applied to, but they do have a much more academic feel than you might expect, and they also have a much better music program than a lot of these similar schools. So I heard back from all those schools in December. It is now March 2nd, so I haven't heard back from any schools in months, other than a couple like smaller scholarship things. I'm waiting to hear back from 10 more schools. So yeah, I didn't get filmed reaction videos for those. Sorry about that. Okay, so I got an email from the University of Richmond this morning telling me that an admissions decision would be ready tomorrow night. Today is March 13th, but tonight I actually got an email from them that looks like there's an admissions decision ready now. Let's take a look. This is definitely not one of my very top choices. I kind of applied on a whim, but I feel like my essay for them was very strong. It's a little less selective than some of the other schools I applied to. They have a 26% acceptance rate. So without further ado, let's see what happened. Congratulations! There is the confetti. On behalf of the University of Richmond, we are thrilled to offer you admission as a member of the class of 2024. We saw academic excellence, impressive writing ability, and a sense of purpose that will enrich our community. Your hard work shows, and it's apparent that you possess the intellectual capacity to thrive at Richmond. We can't wait to watch you shape our campus community. This makes it all feel very real. Like, this is the first pretty selective school that I've been accepted to. I think it's probably not going to end up being quite the right fit because it is a university setting, a bigger school in a city, which isn't quite what I was looking for, but I'm still over the moon to have this option available. Richmond actually required a pretty lengthy essay. It was longer than my Common App essay. But one of the prompts was essentially if you could travel to any point in time, where would you go and why? I told this to my friend at school, and she said, well, I'd talk about traveling to the year 3000 so I could talk about climate change and how it's destroyed our world and come back to present day and show people all these problems. And that made me think of the Jonas Brothers song, The Year 3000. So I actually wrote my essay about the Jonas Brothers, an analysis of the Jonas Brothers, 2012 or whatever hit, the year 3000, and talked about the actual science behind the climate change and how the lines they all live underwater could be because sea levels have risen, and I actually did the research and found that the University of Richmond would likely be underwater at our current rates of sea levels rising. So it was definitely a bit of a risk. But clearly that risk paid off. So I got into the University of Richmond literally less than an hour ago. And I just got an email saying that my Grinnell status has just been updated, which is terrifying because everybody in my family went to Grinnell and I have to get in or else I'm a disappointment to the family. How could I possibly not get in? But also I really want to get in. Oh my gosh, I'm super stressed. Let's check it out. Let's see what it is. I need to get into Grinnell. Click here. Congratulations! Also, I got $100,000 over 4 years in scholarships. Wow, that's awesome. My family is going to be over the moon. This is the one school, obviously I'm stressed about a lot of schools, but I was really stressed about this because I have to get into Grinnell. But I just got into Grinnell. Oh, this is so exciting. My family's going to be so happy. I'm so happy. This is the one thing I've been comparing everything else to all this whole time. I'm so happy. It's very small, very isolated, but the good news is that I visited campus about a gazillion times and I have every connection imaginable so I can find out any information I need to know, which is super helpful because COVID-19 is a huge deal right now, so I can't really visit any campuses like Richmond, which I never visited and probably never will be able to. Today is March 14th, so I received my Grinnell and Richmond decisions yesterday. Got my Grinnell sweatshirt here. Bates told me a few days ago that my admissions decision would be ready sometime this morning. I just got the email that it is ready to go, so I'm not very optimistic about this. I decided to apply 4 days before the deadline, so my application is probably not that great. They also have a 12% acceptance rate, which is half the acceptance rate of these other schools that I've just heard back from, so not very optimistic, but let's take a look. Waitlist. Okay. That's actually good. I'm happy about that. They have a 12% acceptance rate. So that means that at Williams, which also has a 12% acceptance rate, but I feel like my application was a lot stronger there, that means I stand a chance. I'll take that. All right. So we'll see what comes next. Okay, so today is March 15th. Case Western Reserve University said that they were going to release admissions decisions a week from today, but they said a few days ago that it was actually going to be today at around 11 a.m. So I just logged into my portal and I see that there's been an update posted. Let's check it out. It's a university, but on the smaller side in Ohio. Definitely more liberal artsy stuff, more engineering focused, but they have good music. Bigger than most of the schools I applied to. It's the highest acceptance rate school that I haven't heard back from yet at around 27%. So I'm optimistic. Again, it's not super high on my list, but it would be a great option to have. Let's take a look. Congratulations. There was no confetti, so I was scared for a second. So they said, based on my exemplary application and my interest in the humanities, I am invited to join the Baker Nord Scholars Program. It's highly selective, and it's intended to supplement my experience within my feature major, blah, blah, blah. So it sounds like it's sort of like an honors program sort of thing. Alrighty then. Sounds good. Oh, well, okay, so look at this. They said that, so I told them that I was not planning to major in music, but they said that my audition was good enough to admit me to the music major, which is truly shocking because I have a bunch of rules saying, like, you have to dress super formally and you have to show your technique, like, your valves have to be showing, it has to be well lit, and I was, like, wearing nice clothes, but I had jeans on, like, nice jeans, but, like, a nice blouse, and it was, like, dimly lit, and you couldn't really see my valves moving, and yeah, I did not think it was a particularly strong audition based on the requirements, but that's pretty cool. Okay, well, oh, and then there's another thing. Oh, this is super weird. Yeah, so there are 3 separate acceptance letters. So the first one that I saw was the Humanities Scholars Program. That's why I was confused, and it didn't really seem like I was accepted. So then I looked at the audition update, and now I'm looking at my actual admissions decision. Oh, okay. I got $25,000 per year. The university scholarship. Cool. All right, that feels good. Okay, so I was just reading through this acceptance letter again, and there's a PS from the Dean of Admission. PS, I was especially impressed with your accomplishments in band. Drum major is a huge leadership position. That's funny. All right, thank you, Case Western Reserve.
Hi there, today is March 19th, I believe. Time has lost all meaning because we're in the midst of the coronavirus pandemic, so we're basically locked into our house. School's canceled for at least another 4 weeks. So I've known for a week or so that Amherst was releasing decisions today at 5:21 p.m. It's currently 5:19 p.m. I'd say for about the last 3 hours, my heart has been pounding uncontrollably. All day I've been basically freaking out. This is definitely the most anxious I've been for a college decision thus far. I think that's a combination of it being basically tied for first place of where I want to go, tied with Williams, and the fact that I've known exactly when it was going to come out for a little bit longer, so there's been time to build up the suspense, whereas with the other schools it was a little bit more of a surprise. I'm not expecting to get it. Everything is so crazy and terrible right now that I'm certainly expecting a rejection letter. That's not the only reason I'm expecting a rejection letter. It's because it's Amherst. It's incredibly selective. I mean, essentially the best liberal arts college in the country, one of the best in the world, and you can't expect to get in. I think there's a decent chance I get waitlisted, a very real chance I get rejected. If I get in, it changes everything. If I'm rejected, I'll keep getting more decisions over the next few days. So hopefully there's something positive in there, but I'm still super happy to have been accepted to Grinnell. Anyway, I'm just talking, I'm just saying words. I'm sure I'm not gonna get in. There's no way I'm gonna get in. But I would really like to. I would hate a waitlist. I would hate to be waitlisted. I was happy to be waitlisted at Bates. I'm not gonna be happy if I'm waitlisted here. 1 minute. Okay, it's 5:21. Refresh the page. Status update. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! They received. This is the most selective they've ever been. They got 10,000 applications. This is the most selective they've been. I've ever actually started crying for good news before. It's a really long email. I'm not reading all of it. Oh my god. Probably all the work I've done over the last 4 years has been worth it. And I'll pay it off. I got into pretty much the best. The worst case scenario is I go to Amherst. If I don't get in anywhere else, it's also basically the best case scenario. Oh my god. I genuinely don't think I've ever cried over good news before. Okay, I'm gonna go tell my parents and my friends and everybody in the universe. Oh my god. Alright, I'm about to check my Colby admissions decision. I've been trying to do this for like the last 15 minutes and been running into technical difficulties, so the suspense is killing me. Colby has been basically in my top 3. It's been Williams, Amherst, and then a little bit below that, Colby for a long time, so this will be really exciting to hear from. It'll be interesting to see this. They have a 9% acceptance rate at Colby, which is lower than Amherst, even though Amherst is ranked higher. Colby's in Maine, small liberal arts school, really, really, really good, of course. So I don't know what to expect, we'll see. So Colby's admissions decisions were supposed to come out on March 15th. Today is March 20th. They got pushed back because of COVID stuff, but they didn't really communicate, well, they didn't communicate that to us at all, but they finally said it'd come out today. We're guessing that they came out at 5 p.m. Their time, which was about 15 minutes ago. Here we go, a new update was posted. Waitlisted. Alright, well, the good news is that I'm going to Amherst. I was sort of expecting waitlisted. This is interesting. So both this and Bates, the two main colleges, Maine as in the state, put me on the wait list. It hurts a little bit because I did want to go there for so long, but I'm going to Amherst, and that's above Colby on my list this whole time anyway, so it's okay. Alright, it is still March 20th. The Claremont McKenna decision is about to come out, so let's take a look. I really liked Claremont McKenna when I visited 2 years ago. Definitely wanted to get some geographic diversity in where I was applying, but I think I'd be very unlikely to go even if I was selected at this point over Amherst. I don't think I'm going to get in there at least as selective as Colby, some years more selective. Since they're on the West Coast, they're definitely more selective, and they're also looking for a very specific type of person, and I'm not sure if I really fit the bill. My application was not super strong. I submitted it pretty late, so I will not qualify for merit aid. They have a video supplement instead of another essay, which is a little weird, and I'm not sure how I did on that. I definitely felt sort of awkward doing it, and the short essay that I wrote for them was not that great. So I'm not super optimistic going into this, and I'm not going to be heartbroken if I don't get in. I'm not optimistic, but let's take a look. Rejected. Yeah, that's fine. They only enroll 330 freshmen each year, which is itty bitty, and I just don't think I was the type of person they were looking for. And I'm going to Amherst, y'all. This is A-okay. Alright, so it's time for basically the biggest admissions decision for me, which is Williams. I really don't know how to feel about this because Williams was my dream school for like a year and a half, I want to say. I really, really loved it. Earlier this year, I started having some second thoughts about whether like the vibe really suited me. Maybe it was a little too preppy, and maybe the music opportunities weren't really suited to me. I just sort of knew Williams and Amherst had been up at the top for me for a long time, and I never really wanted to admit that it was Amherst because I thought of it as being Williams for so long, but I really started thinking the last several months that Amherst might be a better option. I feel like there's a decent chance I get waitlisted, which hurts a little less and leaves me with the easy option. So obviously, like, I want to get in, I mean, obviously, but not getting in wouldn't be the end of the world because I have Amherst there, and then I'm saved to that really hard decision. But maybe I'm just saying that as a coping mechanism because I really want to get in. I honestly don't know what I'd do if I got into both, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I don't know what to expect because Williams and Amherst are just so similar. I feel like their admissions criteria must be pretty similar too, so I feel like if I got into one, that makes me feel like I should have a decent chance of getting into the other, but this whole thing is just such a random crapshoot. It's just so hard to know. We're gonna hit refresh. Oh, wow, wow, wow. So this is mean. They didn't start it by saying congratulations. They started by saying, on behalf of all of us at Williams, I'm delighted to offer you admission to the class of 2024. Oh my gosh, I have a really hard decision ahead of me. I can't believe it. I wanted this for so long. Like, Amherst was really exciting because, like, I've been wanting it recently, and I've been at the top of my list for a really long time, but this has been at the top of my list for years. Wow. Wow. This is awesome. I should go tell my parents. Alright, so today is Ivy Day, and it's just about time to open up my rejection letter from Harvard. I applied to Harvard because I wanted to have an Ivy on the table, just felt like I sort of had to. But by the time I applied, I was really overwhelmed with senior year and college apps, and I ended up submitting my Harvard essay as an essay I'd written for a different school. It wasn't even really an essay, it was really stupid, and it wasn't really thoughtful. It said a lot about me. It was kind of cute and quirky, but definitely not Harvard level stuff, which makes me a little disappointed in myself because I didn't really put my best foot forward when I had this one opportunity in my life to maybe get into Harvard, but there's always grad school. And I am just not an applicant for Harvard, and I know that. I'm a liberal arts person, and I think they'll probably see that in my application. Alright, it is 6 p.m. We're going to refresh the page. I'm guessing there are thousands of students around the world doing just the same, tens of thousands. And it is taking forever to refresh. An update has been posted for your application. Let's see this rejection letter. I sort of wish I never applied, to be honest. It's loading. Yep, rejected. Yeah, probably shouldn't have applied at all, given the quality of my application, but yeah, it's all good. Alright, today is March 30th, and last but not least, I've gotten an email from Tulane that my admissions status has been updated. It's very weird that they released their decision so late. I'm pretty sure this means I got rejected or waitlisted, because I've heard they do sort of rolling admissions, so if you get in, you'd probably know by now, and if I was getting married, I think I'd definitely know by now. I thought I wrote a pretty solid essay for them, and I thought I, painted myself as a Tulane sort of person. That being said, clearly I'm more of a small liberal arts type. I applied to Tulane particularly because of the strong music scene. I thought that would be really, really fun in New Orleans, but I think the big city feel is not really up my alley, but definitely something I would have seriously considered if the circumstances were different. Anyway, let's log in. Waitlisted. Okay, well, we're gonna turn down that waitlist offer. Just before you go, I just wanted to say I had a lot of misgivings about posting this. I'm afraid it gives off the wrong idea, I guess, of how I was feeling. I don't know, I was super nervous when I was opening these decisions, and I felt like I talked too much, and then I tried to edit a lot of that out, and I said all the wrong things that I'm afraid made me look bad, and I don't know, but I always know I have a lot of fun watching these videos, and I know my reactions were different than a lot of people, so I thought it might be fun to sort of put this out there. I know I viewed all of them alone, that's just sort of what I wanted to do. It's how I roll, I guess. I was sort of thinking about, in all this quarantine boredom, which is why I posted this, I was thinking about maybe revitalizing this channel or making a new channel about life at Williams, because there are very few videos out there that just show day-to-day life at Williams and talk about what it's like, and those are such a useful resource when you're picking a college and picking which colleges to apply to. Obviously I don't even know if I'm going to be on campus in the fall, but in the meantime, if you're interested in videos and how I tackled which colleges to apply to and how to apply and how I chose a college in the age of COVID, I don't know, comment, maybe I'll do it, but probably nobody's going to see this, and probably that's for the best. So in any case, thanks for watching if you did. Sorry this is super long. Please don't judge me. Yeah. Bye.